back to this episode of Get In. Today is Friday, September 19th, and we have another special episode for you. Today, we're going to be inviting Carlie Oakley into the studio where we talk all things 811 Foundation and a very, very special Oktoberfest that is coming to Broad Ripple. It's going to be incredible. You're going to want to be there. I think I'm actually hosting, I think I signed myself up to host a charity beer stein holding contest sponsored by Hope Plumbing. It's going to be great. Super, super fun there. We're talking all things Oktoberfest and her journey through organ transplant. It's a very, very powerful story. After that, we're going to be talking with Nicole Pence about fun activities to do around Indiana with your kids. I don't have kids, but if you have kids, you're definitely going to want to make sure you hit that part. And we're rounding out the episode talking with Lark Ranch. You may have seen them. They've been going viral recently for their corn maze featuring the late Jim Irsay. It's an incredible, incredible piece of art that was created. We'll be talking through Lark Ranch's growth from Ladoga up to Greenfield, and then I think down in like Jeffersonville too. We're about to get into that interview. It's a great episode today. Happy Friday. I hope y'all are enjoying it. Please shoot me a DM. Let me know what you like, what you dislike, who you want to hear on these type of episodes as we, just continue exploring all the great things that Hoosier State has to offer. Let's get into this episode and this exclusive interview with Carlie Oakley from 811 Foundation. Carlie Oakley is the executive director of the 811 Foundation and a driving force behind its mission to support local nonprofits and bring the community together through unique events like the upcoming annual Oktoberfest. She is a kidney transplant recipient turned advocate. Carlie has dedicated her career to building culture at 811 Group while channeling its success into meaningful impact across Indiana. She's recognized in IBJ's 40 Under 40. She continues to blend leadership, philanthropy, and passion into her work. Today, we're going to be covering all the great things that the 811 Foundation is doing, and we're going to be talking about the hottest new event coming right here to the village of Broad Ripple, you guys' Oktoberfest. Carlie, welcome to Get In.
Wow, thank you. That's the coolest intro I've ever had.
There we go. Come on. I'm really excited that you made the tumultuous long journey across the alleyway.
It was like hours of walking. Hours.
There we go.
I think it took 30 seconds.
Yeah, and there we go. Well, hey, we're glad you made it over. Obviously, we've been hearing all the news here in Broad Ripple that Oktoberfest is coming to the village. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into that, and we're going to talk about all the great stuff to expect from this event. But before we talk about what's going on with Oktoberfest, we need to learn about the foundation and the company and the people that are making this thing happen. Talk to us. What is the 811 Foundation? Previous guest, Ryan Hasbrook, obviously, 811, we learned that side of the business.
Yes.
We did not hear that much about the foundation. So talk to us about what the foundation is.
Absolutely. So I launched the foundation in January of 2023, and the goal was to bring 3 different pillars together that could really support and lift up lives, not only in our company, but in our communities nationwide. So we have brick and mortar buildings in 34 cities nationwide, and a big goal of that is to expand our net, to expand our community outreach, and to impact lives in a bigger and broader way. So one of the pillars that is a really important piece of this is our education pillar. And we start with inner city kids that they bring into a school called Cristo Rey. The network is big. Are you familiar with them?
PCR, baby.
PCR.
They're coming on the show soon.
Really? Who do you have?
Yeah.
Fred Yakey?
Fred and
Tyler Mayer?
I think it's Tyler. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm very excited.
I sit on the board for Cristo Rey as well.
Well, it's one of the coolest high school experiences in the state, maybe across the country. It's very, very cool.
Totally agree. And when I met Fred and Tyler, I knew that was such a big, important piece of the foundation. So they take these kids, they bring them in, and they change the trajectory of their lives, starting freshman year in high school. So they come, once you are a corporate work study program partner, those kids come into our facility, into headquarters every single day. 1 day a week, we have freshmen, sophomore, juniors, and seniors. And they sit with us and they learn the tricks of the trade.
Freshmen in high school coming into a corporate setting.
Is that wild?
That's pretty crazy.
They have to give a capstone at the end of the year to us.
I could not, I just would not be, as a freshman, I was not in the place where I could have gone into an office and not made a fool of myself. So kudos to those kids.
Kudos to those kids is right. They're pretty incredible. And so a big portion of that was we hire oftentimes directly from colleges within our four walls. And so starting with young minds and getting them amped up, even from a freshman in high school, was a big part of our why.
And I think that a big piece of what makes Providence Cristo Rey so cool is a lot of times some of the kids that are, going through this program, going through this high school, like their parents maybe didn't go to work in that office.
That's right.
Like I think about growing up in rural Indiana, like you worked in, like your parents either worked in the factory or they worked in the office of the factory, but I didn't know anyone who had a remote job. I didn't know anyone who knew anyone who worked in tech. So
Right.
like when these kids come in and they get exposed to these different types of career paths and different opportunities, they can just like conceptualizing and seeing it is probably just as important, if not more important than like, are they, what are they doing for the company or whatever?
Agree. And that is one of the coolest pieces of it, is to hear at the end of the year, their capstone, what their takeaways were. Yeah. Oftentimes we think what we're giving them might even be different what their actual takeaway is. So that's been a pretty cool piece of it.
Yeah. And I think the one thing I want to talk through with the listeners is what a nonprofit looks like versus a foundation. And I think that's a piece that kind of like a switch that flipped for me.
Okay.
So as a foundation,
Yeah.
you guys, like you have different pillars and you support that through grants and through different things and ways that you fund other nonprofit organizations. Is that how that works?
You got it.
So it's almost like you're a philanthropic investor.
You're right.
Okay.
Yes.
Versus like a nonprofit might be like, we help do this specific thing.
In a certain channel.
Yeah.
And it was really important for us to expand that net a little wider.
Yeah.
And so we launched the 3 pillars with that very much in mind. It also helps the board, who it's none of our full-time jobs, side fun hustle of impact. And so it really helps the board narrow that scope. You have something come in that's outside of those 3 pillars, it's easier to say, sorry, we're supporting these missions, not this.
Like every nonprofit or everything that comes, they'll give you, the pitch, the story. Like we get tons of them in, and it's like, oh my gosh, I want to help everyone. Like I would love, and being able to make the biggest impact for our community. It's like, you have to have your set 3 pillars or your piece there where it's like, hey, we're really focused on driving this forward, and this forward, and it can help you make a bigger impact in those areas. What are your 3 pillars?
So our 3 pillars are the people of 811. So the people that work inside our 4 walls nationwide. We have almost 1,000 people that work internally for us. And so in times of catastrophe, tornado, house fire, something really hard, kidney transplant, that was a big reason why that part was important to me. We give 6 weeks paid leave to anybody that's an organ donor in the company. So that's really cool. Somebody going through cancer, leukemia, and just a little way to help them feel like they're supported in a different way.
Yeah. Well, talk to us then through, like, was your experience with the healthcare system and your, the adversity that you faced there, did that help spark launching the foundation?
It did. I wrote the mission statement and we did a lot of this actually while I was laying at home in recovery from my transplant.
Tell us about, for people that might not know this part of your story, what happened?
I was born with only 1 kidney, and you can live with 1 kidney, obviously. But I got Epstein-Barr virus when I was 22. And it took them about a year to figure out what that is. Basically, it's a form of mono, but it happens to affect your kidneys. Oh, no. So it causes lesions in your kidney. So by the time they figured out what I actually was experiencing, I was at about 50% function in the 1 kidney that I had.
Oh, no.
Several years of working with homeopathic doctors and trying to stay as healthy as possible obviously took me, a really long way before I had to get a transplant. But I knew at some point it was inevitable, especially after I had 2 kids. It really did a number on my organ. And so I found out actually in 2020, well, it was October of 2020, and I found out that it was time, that I was at 20% function, which meant that I was going to go on a national donor list. And my doctor said to me, you are otherwise completely healthy. I would really like for you to be an advocate to get a living donor so that you're not in the list taking kidney from somebody else that could get it, or an otherwise typically unhealthy kidney from a deceased donor.
Yeah.
And so I did. That was really hard. He said, my biggest piece of advice is to go on social media, tell all your family and friends that you need a kidney, and have people fill out a form. And it took me about 3 months to even be able to talk about it because it wasn't like I was posting on Facebook that I needed a babysitter on Friday night.
Yeah.
So I decided not to go the social media route. I sent an email to exactly 100 people, family and friends, sharing my story for those that didn't know it, and listed the form down below and said, if you feel compelled to get tested, I would be forever grateful.
Wow. How many responses came from that email?
It makes me teary saying this. 89.
Oh my God. 89 people.
Yeah, which was really humbling and really amazing.
What ended up being whose kidney?
Oh my gosh, Nate, I didn't know we were going to talk about this today. I would have taken my no cry pill. It ended up being one of my best friends, Jenny Deppen, who our daughters are best friends.
Shout out.
Yes.
Jenny?
And I knew who was in it. A lot of people said, hey, I'm in the running, or I just got banned because I had high cholesterol, or I just, there were all these weed out processes.
Yeah.
We got to the top 10, and I knew all of them but one. We got to 5. I knew all of them but one. And she asked me to go to dinner, which is a little unlike her. Normally I'm the planner. She's not. And so I thought maybe my daughter did something she needed to tell me about.
Oh, no.
And she shared with me that she was in the top 2 and was getting fully tested the next week. Blood, everything, organ placement, all of that. And so there were 2 in the running. And she's like, I'm finally telling you because I'm going to win.
Oh, my gosh.
So she went
impactful.
and her kidney was a perfect fit. The doctor said he's actually never seen a more perfect match.
I mean, that
Pretty
means,
incredible.
you talk about destined to be lifelong friends.
Yes, I just got back yesterday from a girls trip with her.
The perfect,
Yes.
the perfect match. It's very interesting. So my mom's side of the family, 5 brothers, 1 daughter, and grandpa. Between the 7 of them, I think they shared 7 kidneys.
What?
My oldest uncle got a transplant from my grandpa.
Yes.
Like something happened. So he grandpa gave up one of his kidneys to his oldest sons. One of, I think the third, I'm going to get all but one brother shared with another brother and one brother shared with my mom.
Wow.
And they all it just ended up being matches down the road for family and everything. And so I think it was 8 kidneys between 6, 7 people, something like that.
That is
Crazy.
incredible.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate for living donors. There's just, and Jenny's doing great. She's ran like 2 marathons since and in great health. And oddly, she thanks me because she says when she went and got tested, her doctor told her she couldn't take ibuprofen anymore, and she had taken it a ton because she's a runner for her knees.
Yeah.
And he said, it's not good, for your health. Let's stop taking it. And so she's like, you saved my life. And I'm like, oh, girl, no, you saved my life, like figuratively and literally.
What does that, and we're going to get into, because obviously taking care of your people, this is your story of how you need taken care of.
Yeah.
And being vulnerable. So it gets so much easier, I think, in life to be the helper.
Yeah.
When you get to go and someone has a flat tire and they call you, I love that personally.
Yeah.
And when someone's experiencing a difficult time, I think Hoosiers love to step in and help people. What did it mean to you to have a close friend step up in the biggest way?
I can't even describe it. I mean, to give an organ is one of the most selfless things that you can ever do in life. And she did it without hesitation. It was the most selfless act ever. I always tell her, never not grateful. So we do a Friendsgiving every single November where there's a group of 11 of us girls that do everything together. And we do a Friendsgiving really around her. She doesn't like me to say that, so I pretend it's not for her, but it is.
It's for you, Jenny.
It's
Come
for
on.
her. We do a girls trip every year, so just got back yesterday from that. I think one of the best things about that is, like you said, pouring into your people and to have friendship just at the center of all that. And that's one thing that I've really tried to do with this foundation is make it very much a family, tight-knit, supporting effort.
I think that's special. I think there's a lot of good pillars. There's from education to homelessness, food insecurity.
Social conscious. Yeah, that's a big one.
There's a ton of big things that you could do. But to include one of the pillars being, hey, we take care of our own.
Yeah.
We take care of our people. That's huge.
Yeah.
I love that. Okay, wait. So we literally made it through 2 pillars. Education.
Your
people.
Yeah, and social conscious.
Okay.
So a big part of that is we have have Day of Service every single year. 811 Group has Day of Service. And we locally do a ton for the community. So there's a resume writing, a critique class happening at Cristo Rey. We do a lot of the local cleanup. We do the Monon Trail. We've got several things planned here locally that day. We invite clients and consultants to be a part of that. And then nationwide, we've got everybody serving the exact same day. So it's the only time that 811 Group is basically shut down as an organization, and everybody is servicing their communities in every state.
Heck yeah. What are you doing?
Which is amazing. So I will be at Cristo Rey. I'm going to be a big part of that mentoring and that part, but I also will be in the back lot of the Vogue getting it ready for Oktoberfest.
Right, I'll pop out. We'll have our Get Indiana. We'll have our Day of Giving, and then we'll do the same day. We'll come out and help with Oktoberfest.
That'd be great. We'd love to have you.
We'll get that on the calendar.
Perfect.
Okay, so social, say that, what was it called again?
Social conscious.
I'm not going to be able to say that.
That's okay. Conscious.
Yeah, conscious. Yeah, there we go. Where did it get to the point? I feel like a lot of companies have Days of Giving. They have this. Where did it get to the point where you thought, you know what, we need to have this foundation and it needs to be this standalone entity outside, well, inside, but outside, like a separate foundation?
Yeah, it's not owned by 811 Group. It is a completely separate entity. But so a lot of times people will say, well, why did you name it the 811 Foundation? What has nothing to do with it. The reason that was really important to me is because I really wanted our people to feel like they had a home base for community outreach and making an impact. And so they're able to even take donations out of their paycheck from the day they start here. So they can say, I'd like $1 taken out of my paycheck and put into each pillar once a week. And so it's a way for them to give back directly from their paychecks, which is a really cool opportunity.
Yeah.
And a big reason why I felt like it was so important to tie it to the organization is because we have offices everywhere. So to expand that net, to expand the reach, to expand the community outreach from the education pillar and be able to get those kids into all of those offices was a really important piece.
Oktoberfest is what we're going to get into in just a second. But previous to that, you guys have done other like big events. If anyone doesn't know what we're talking about, there is a massive new building that has gone up in the heart of Broad Ripple here, and that is the 811 headquarters. It's like a little bit south of the Vogue, like a block. You guys did a huge event there. Was it your gala?
So last year, we did. It was called Around the 811 Universe. Oh. And we had different vendors come in, and so every floor was different cocktails, different food vendors. So Around the 811 Universe not only was to show our building and invite the community in to see it, but to be a part of making an impact while having a really great time on your own. So it's a night of service and a night of giving back to the community, but also a night of fun. We have fun over there. I'm sure you know that.
No, I've never heard that.
I know. We do have fun over there.
With a rooftop like that, you got to have fun.
The rooftop is exceptional. So that's a piece of this that we're still working on in the last couple of weeks is any of our clients or our VIP sponsors will have, some special stuff up on the rooftop too.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. And so you're rolling that in, right? You guys have done some events for the foundation. You've raised some money, all these things, but it's all culminating in this upcoming event right here in the village. And one thing people need to know: Broad Ripple has not had a true Oktoberfest in I'm not sure how long.
Yeah, I'm told maybe ever.
Bum, bum, bum.
I know.
Wow.
So we sat in a boardroom. We have a board meeting once a month, and we sat in a board meeting. And Erica Turcrow, actually, she's one of our board members. She sits out of Hoboken, and she was like, "What if we did Oktoberfest? What if we all wore lederhosen and did an Oktoberfest?" And we started talking about it, and it seemed too big to do. It seemed too big to really focus on when you don't have any full-time employees actually working in this foundation yet. And so we started talking about it. We're like, let's do it. Let's pull it together. We are going to make this happen. So the amazing part of that is when you throw out into the universe that you're going to do something really cool like this, people step up and want to be a part of it. And they give a lot of their own time and energy to be able to make it happen.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Especially, yeah, what it takes to put that on from like a people's capacity. It's like,
Yeah.
because like, what's your full-time role within 811?
So I'm the chief brand
Yeah,
officer.
like you got to do chief brand officer things. You know, like the brand needs to be officered as well as Oktoberfest thrown. So how do you guys like pull it together? What were the first dominoes that needed to fall to bring this to life?
Yeah, well, the really funny thing was I was like, yeah, we can get bands and we can get the security, no problem. How many volunteers do we need? That idea was not really an option. So we contracted with 45, which is...
For those who don't know, please go listen to our episode with Jenny. She was a phenomenal guest talking
She's
about
great.
music all throughout central Indiana and beyond.
Yeah, so if you've ever been to Rock the Ruins or anything the Vogue has done, that is 45. They plan that, and they are exceptional planners in the music industry. And so once we talked to them and decided to partner with them, that was a big check the box.
Leave it to the experts. Like,
Yeah, let them do what they're good at.
I'm part of Penrod.
Yeah.
And so we partner with 45 to book all the stages for all the acts, like Friday night and Saturday of our festival fair. And they do a phenomenal job.
Yeah.
And they get really interesting, like different acts that I feel like aren't just like Rod Tough Girls plays everywhere, right? Like
Your standard ones.
And I love Rod Tough Girls. Let it be known. They are spectacular. Like, no hate for me on Rod Tough Girls.
Right. So they can get those people that you would not normally have, as an option. And that was another piece of it. I was like, okay, this is the first year. We don't know if we're going to sell 20 tickets. Our goal is 1,000. And so what are we looking at?
We're going to blow past 1,000.
I love the attitude. Let's do it.
If there are not 1,000 people in Broad Ripple that want to go to Oktoberfest, I'm moving. We're moving.
That is a bold statement.
If there are not 1,000 people in the greater Broad Ripple area that want to go to an Oktoberfest, we are moving our headquarters.
Whoa. Will it be like Get OH? Get Ohio?
It'll be Get Out. I'm not joking.
I love it.
Come
okay.
on.
Well, good. So let's get them. That's a big piece of why I wanted to be here today, because I know your reach is big as well. And so I'm hopeful to sell these tickets. We made them at an exceptional price point. They're $25.
Oh, my. What?
Yeah, to get in the door. And so that gets you the music.
I was going to say, what's the music? Who do we, like, what can we expect?
Ooh, funny that you ask. I actually asked Jenny if I could share those bands today. And you know what Jenny told me? This is how good she is. She said, you need to get on the podcast, not share the bands. And then they follow you so they know what bands are coming.
Ooh, so she knows a thing
She
or
knows
two.
what she's doing.
So we're not going to, if you want to see what bands are going to be at Oktoberfest, you have to go follow the 811 Foundation.
That's right. Yeah.
When will they be dropping on?
I think we're going to launch 2 of them by the end of this week.
Oh, boy.
And so
Okay.
goal is to have, I think a goal is to have 6 or 7, I'm told. And so I think we plan to launch 2 for the next couple of weeks.
Will there be polka?
I don't know.
Oh, I mean,
I
we're gonna
don't
put
know.
okay. So what else can we expect? We're gonna have music. We're gonna have
tons of
bands.
music,
You're
yep.
gonna check out their Instagram. You're gonna see who's gonna be there. It's gonna be big.
Yep.
Huge.
DJ Lockstar. You familiar with DJ Lockstar?
I'm not familiar with, but I feel like I should be.
He's really great. He's our DJ for all company-wide events.
Oh. Is he like also happen to be an employee? I feel like there has to be an employee within 811 that's also a DJ.
He's not. I think there are, but he's not.
Okay.
He
This
is
is full-time
exceptional.
DJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He is exceptional. He is our MC for the whole day. This is where relationships matter. He is doing it pro bono for us for the whole day because he cares so much about the foundation.
Heck yeah.
Which is super cool.
DJ Lockstar?
DJ Lockstar.
Let's go.
So he'll be there emceeing the day. We have several contests throughout the bands after each band happening.
What kind of contest?
Ooh, a Stein holding contest, maybe one of them.
Oh, I mean, you can't have an Oktoberfest without a Stein holding contest.
You can't.
Like,
Yeah.
that's just like a no-brainer. Absolutely.
Yeah. So tons of contests during the day. We've got food trucks. We have got tons of different sponsorship tents. So a lot of the local Broad Ripple companies will be in those tents. We have a VIP tent that is going to be super cool. We've got a kids zone. We got it all.
There's a lot of events happening all the time in Indianapolis. You know, this one, that one, this festival, this concert, this, that. What is going to make the Oktoberfest here in Broad Ripple in partnership with the 811 Foundation, presented by the 811 Foundation. What's going to make that one a must-attend event of the 2025 season?
Because we don't let events fail. It's going to be the most perfect place to be on October 4th.
Oh, boy. Yeah. October 4th, dates, times,
October 4th starts at 2 p.m. So I envision families coming in Broad Ripple having brunch, and they decide to stay for the day and hang out. And the last band will go off the stage at 10 p.m. So for 8 hours and a really small ticket price, kids are free. Adults are $25. I think with the service fees and everything, it ends up being like $33. There's a VIP ticket that's a little more expensive, but you get really cool things like espresso martinis sponsored by Java House and Tito's.
The collab you didn't know you needed.
Yeah, exactly. That is a really cool collab. And then St. Elmo's is doing shrimp cocktail in that VIP tent, and there's tons of other cool things. So you'll want to be there. There's nowhere else you'll want to be on October 4th.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, absolutely. Like $30, whatever. $30 gets you a full work day, 2 to 10. And you're putting in a full work day at Oktoberfest. Let's go.
Yeah.
Is there like Lederhosen encouraged?
Lederhosen is especially encouraged.
What are they called? Drindles?
Oh,
Dirndls?
I don't know how to say that.
Dirndls is, I think, the female garb, the get up.
Yeah,
you gotta have one of those.
Maybe we've also got some really cool events coming up. So we have these. Broad Ripple is known for the rubber duck race. If you're not familiar with that, I don't know if you've ever talked about that on this show, but it's a cool.
I love it. It's very cool. I think the first time I went there, I didn't understand what I thought. They kind of move. They don't move very fast.
They're rubber ducks.
Yeah,
they're not motorized ducks.
So, yeah, these are not. These are not like. So I was like, oh man, this is gonna be so. And they drop them in, like, all right, check back in 20 minutes, like,
or 3 hours.
Yeah, or whatever it is. Right? Like, no, it's very fun though.
It's very
like a
fun.
part of it.
So we made rubber ducks with Lederhosen on them, and they have the 811 Foundation, and our awesome marketing team. Bree Hall being one of them, right behind me.
Shout out Bree.
She is going to be hiding these ducks in Broad Ripple businesses and bars. And we will be doing these contests of, hey, we've hid rubber ducks in these bars, Broad Ripples after 5 p.m. on certain days. Find the duck, get 2 free tickets.
Oh.
Yeah.
Which is above a $50 value.
Yeah.
Just by finding the little German ducks.
Yeah. We may even do something crazy like, hey, buy 4 tickets, we'll give you 10 free. So there's going to be some really cool different promotions.
You can't argue with that logic. Yeah. Buy 4, get 10 free.
Why would you not do it?
You're going to need more friends. Because we're getting to 1,000.
Yes, we're getting to 1,000. So I need the biggest megaphones in the city to tell people that this is where they're going to want to be.
You might be on the right show here.
I love it.
We're here for fun. When it comes to obviously, having a great time, we think about raising a stein to also, raise awareness, raise support, build up this foundation that's going out and impacting not just our community, but like you guys are in a lot of different markets.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have written the mission statement and to bring this thing to life and now to be putting on this huge event? Like what are you feeling?
Brings me so much joy that so many people have poured into this foundation that we are able to actually truly impact and change lives. That is one of the biggest missions of the foundation is every day that we make a decision, it's to impact somebody's life for the better. So the goal of Oktoberfest, raise a glass, change a life, be impact makers while having an awesome time watching bands.
If there's one thing I know about 811 is y'all work hard, you guys do a great job, but you also have a good time.
We play hard.
Like I have so many friends that work across the street over there, and they might be the only company where everyone there like actually is friends. Like friends with all their coworkers. It's crazy.
Yes.
Like in the best way.
We are friends for sure, but we are more than that. We are family. And so it's the family supporting family mission.
And that is like I think a lot of companies say that, and it's like it's on the walls and it's like, we're a family, but I like truthfully believe it with you when you all say it and then you see the action of like everyone's like taking the day off work to go to someone's wedding. That's like they were loading like a full-on Sprinter van out here to drive to like Bloomington to go to a wedding.
For a wedding,
and like, there's like 20 people getting it. I'm like, I don't know. Most people, I can't think of 2 people that they work with that they would want at their wedding. So it's really impactful what you guys have been building. It's awesome. And we're really excited about Oktoberfest. date is
October 4th.
You can't beat it. From 2 to 10 p.m.
2 to 10 p.m. I still have sponsorship opportunities available.
What kind of sponsors are you looking for? What kind of people do you want?
Yeah, there's a few. I have a customized featured sponsor. It's only $5,000, and you get to customize what you're sponsoring the day of. So maybe you want to sponsor the sign holding contest. Maybe you want to sponsor a pretzel eating challenge. Maybe you want to sponsor the chairs that are going to be put out and your logos on the back of them. Several different opportunities like that.
Oh,
yeah.
There's opportunity.
There's opportunities there.
I know out there's somewhere there's like a, I'm thinking of something like a scrap metal company that wants to find the strongest, maybe a gym wants to sponsor the Stein holding contest.
Maybe.
Like, come on. You're jacked. Let's
There's
go.
so many opportunities. We have so many different opportunities for sponsorship. The premium supporting sponsor would be the very large sign across the stage. And I'm not going to give that out freely because I'm fine with it having our name on it.
Fair.
So it's a $20,000 sponsorship, but then they would have first right of refusal next year. And I have a feeling this is going to be big.
It's going to be huge. It's already huge.
huge.
Let's go. I love it. Okay, so we're looking for sponsors. If people want to buy tickets for Oktoberfest in Broad Ripple on October 4th from 2 to 10 p.m., where can they buy their tickets?
The tickets are on Open Date, which is what 45 uses when they sell everything. So Rock the Ruins, any concerts at the Vogue, anything like that. We'll give it to you so you can put it on.
It'll be in the link.
Yep, it'll be in the link.
In the show notes?
Yeah, absolutely.
Amazing. I'm super excited. It's going to be fun. We have to round out every episode. We have 4 questions that we ask all of our guests that come on.
Love it.
And that's what we'll round out the day with. First one, this question is brought to you by our friends at JC Hart. They are a leader in creating enjoyable living experiences at apartment communities all across Indiana and beyond. Check them out at homesjchart.com. My question for you, Carlie. Why do you call Indiana home?
I was born and raised in Indiana, born in Terre Haute, Indiana, lived in
Paradise.
lived in Ladoga, Indiana my whole life. Are you familiar with Ladoga?
Oh, we are familiar. Yes.
Are
yes.
you? Okay.
Yeah, what high school does that feed into?
Well, I fed into Southmont High School, so I was a Mountie.
Heck yeah. The Mounties, of course.
And then I went to Purdue University and then moved to Fishers right out of college. And so Indiana is home to me because of the people here. I just think the people that you get to experience when you live in the Hoosier state are very much unlike any other person I've ever met.
Amen. We're on to our final 3 questions. You have offices, physical brick and mortar presence in over 30 different markets all across the country. What is something that the world needs to know about Indiana?
I think the world needs to know that Indiana is more than just cornfields. When people say that to be the flyover state, it makes me laugh because I don't think of Indiana as a flyover state at all. I think of it as one of the best airports that you can ever come across. It's the easiest place.
The fly-into state.
It's the fly-into state. You can get through that security line in 5 minutes and be sitting at 1933 having a filet burger.
I timed it once. I showed up 40 minutes, not before boarding started. I showed up 40 minutes before they closed the door and you can't get on. And I got from the parking lot to my seat on the plane in 36 minutes. 4 minutes later, they closed the thing. And some people were like, that's a little stressful. I don't know if I'm willing to roll the dice quite that much, but I was like, let's go.
We always have that conversation with my girlfriends. I always push the envelope on that as well.
Absolutely.
But great fly-in state. But you know what? I'm even going out on a limb saying people are going to want to fly in for Oktoberfest. October 4th, moving forward. They want to be in Indiana for Oktoberfest.
Let's go. It's huge. I mean, you guys bring in a big piece of 811 is the people that come in, right?
Yeah.
Like for their 6 months of training or whatever it is?
That we bring training in a ton. So that's actually why I was 60 seconds late for this with you today is we have a training class today.
Heck yeah.
So they come in from every state and then they start here. They train here for a full week. And then throughout the maturation of their career, they come back for multiple different trainings.
What is because you get people from Boston and Denver and Texas and all over.
Yeah.
What is their feedback after they spend even a week? They spend a week in Indiana. What do they think?
Well, it depends on the time of year. This time of year, they have great feedback. ask them in January. It might not be the same.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But I think in general, I do think everybody would go back to the people. I just think I've never heard anybody say that the people in Indiana are anything less than the coolest people they've ever met.
Amen. Okay, we have 2 questions left for you. This one, we need to know about a place or a thing that's happening in Indiana that's going on that more people need to know about. What is a hidden gem in Indiana?
Little French Lick in West Baden.
Yes.
I think it's a cool hidden gem. So from anything from having, a night out with your spouse, but I took my kids there every single year at Christmas for the monorail, the Polar Express train that goes.
Yeah.
I think they would still say that's one of their fondest memories as little kids is taking the Polar Express, to the North Pole and meeting Santa.
I was somewhere over the weekend and this older guy. Actually, oh my gosh, it was Dan Hasbrook.
Oh yeah.
It was Ryan's dad last week at a speaking thing. He came and then at the end of my little spiel, he says, "Yeah, you know what I love about Indiana?" He says, "It's the only state where South Bend is in the north, North Vernon's in the south, and French Lick isn't what you think it is." And that was a Dan Hasbrook quote.
That is actually very true.
That's something that I was like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah, right.
What a guy.
Yeah. But I would say that area is it's easy to get to. Everybody in the company is going to laugh when I say this because we've hosted so many leadership retreats there that people are like, okay, we're done with French Lick for now. But it's a cool hidden gem.
Final question for you. This is where we learn about new guests or people in our state that are just doing inspiring things. Who's a Hoosier that we need to keep on our radar? Someone who's doing big things.
Tiffany Sauder.
Oh, killing it.
She is a great friend, but she is taking the next level of female leadership to, I think, a really cool place. I think what she does is able to lift women up in a really cool way to make it where they feel empowered. And we host a lot of those events in the company. Women in Tech Day is next Monday, which we're hosting. And she's just one of those really amazing people that take somebody to the next level just by knowing her.
Heck yeah. Tiffany rocks. Go back, listen to her episode. It's fantastic. She gets really, really open and honest about being a woman in leadership, being a woman in business, and it's building strong marital relationships.
That's right.
It was a mind, I think if you are, let's just say guys that are, maybe in your 25 to 35, you need to go listen to it because it's an MBA on building strong relationships.
She goes deep and she does it really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. Great stuff. Carlie, thank you so much for coming on and sharing all the cool stuff that the 811 Foundation is doing, as well as the upcoming Oktoberfest on October 4th from 2 to 10 p.m. right here in Broad Ripple. It's going to be a great time. We appreciate you being open and honest about a time when 811 had to show up big for you in your life and the time your friends and your network and just going through that process is incredible. And so we're glad that you're here being an advocate for organ transplant as well.
Thanks, Nate. It was awesome to talk to you. I can't wait to have you. Maybe we'll do some mini podcasts at Oktoberfest.
Let's make it happen.
Okay.
I love it.
Thanks for your time.
Appreciate you. Talk soon. Big news for my friends over at Hope Plumbing. Now Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. You heard that right. They are now your one-stop shop for home services, offering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical. New name, added services, but same trustworthy, loyal company. They treat your home like their very own, and now that includes HVAC as well. Book your next home services appointment with Hope and mention Get Indiana, and Hope will give you a free membership for a year. A membership includes important services like whole home plumbing inspection, a free mainline drain snaking, 2 seasonal HVAC inspections, and so much more. That's a deal you can't miss out on. Call Hope Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling and start saving today. Now let's get back into the show. We've come to a part of the show where we have a fun new segment. We're going to talk about top activities to do around Indiana with kids. I have the expert, Nicole Pence Becker. I'm joined in studio. Nicole, how are we doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, I could not be better. I'm excited to talk all things kids. So obviously people know I'm not a dad, not a father at this point.
Not yet.
But I'm a godfather ×2.
Hey, there you go. That's important.
So I'm always looking for fun activities when my godchildren.
That's right.
Yeah, when my godchildren are in town. So I need to know where to take them, what to do. They're still small, but I'm like, when they get to be mobile, then I'm like, we got to go do some fun activities. So,
and you want to venture out on your own.
Yeah, it will. Then they trust me to
the
take
Father,
it.
Son, Holy Spirit for that one.
Amen. Right? Yeah. I gotta get I might have to invest in a car seat. But we have our top 5 activities to do with children around Indiana. What's our number? Well, 5. What's our number 5?
Number 5 has to absolutely be any of the local parks.
Okay.
So as a mom of 4 boys, they're active, they're mobile, they want to move. Every park that we have in any community, whether it's Hamilton County or it's in Indy, are just better and superior than anywhere else. And I get that because I family visit all the time and they're like, are these parks all for free? They're fantastic.
Okay.
Yes. And our favorite park is Lawrence Inlow in Carmel.
Are we going to give away a secret?
The hidden gem. It's like
There
in
we
Carmel,
go.
a little off of Hazeldale. And it's got a water feature. It's got a big slide. It's got a gym it's all outdoor.
There should be like a parent influencer that has like a kid who rates parks. Like based on like the water feature, the slide to this, like, oh yeah, that slide, those swings are extra springy.
And
you
the
know?
kid would narrate it, right?
Yeah, the kid does it. You just like, you
Which
know,
would be hilarious.
And they're just like, yeah, I really like how bounceable that
Yep.
whatever thing was.
Or
Okay.
how wet I got when I stood under that
Yeah,
bucket.
exactly. You know, like, oh, that's got the super bucket or whatever
Okay,
it is.
free
Okay.
idea, everybody.
There
for
you
who
go.
wants to make that
you could get
entrepreneurial idea.
Yeah, right. There are 100,000 followers about rating kids' parks. There you go.
Lickety-split.
All right, now we're on to 4. What is the number 4 thing to do with kids around Indiana?
I'm going to say, since we're in the summer, beginning of fall timeframe, we're going to go with Indiana State Fair. Like, you take the kids in the Indiana State Fair, they think that they've been teleported out into something really special. Like, that is a lot of fun, but you got to be ready for it as a parent because it's a long day. It's always hot. And then the number 1 place to visit when you go to the Indiana State Fair is always the Dairy Bar.
Oh, absolutely. And
Always.
you got to be ready for 2 types of meltdowns. We got ice cream meltdown, and we got maybe a meltdown with the child at some point. It's
For sure.
it's a full day.
Yeah, and the milkshake there this year, I think, is key lime pie. We need to get you at the Dairy Bar as a celebrity serving up ice cream this year.
Absolutely. That would be so much fun. I'm actually going, I think there's a rodeo night, and if you haven't been to the rodeo, I don't know if
I've
it's
been to the
necessarily, we were a little bit off of like the kids feature, but the rodeo at the
rodeo's
state fair
good.
is sweet.
Well, I was going to say, when PBR comes to town, that's also on my list for kid activities, but we digress.
Well, yeah, it's like how many times do kids, especially in central Indiana, like see someone wrestle one of those baby steers?
Yeah.
They'll like jump off their horse and like, I don't know, wrestle like WWE move them.
It's superhero stuff.
It's and they also have, so the cool part about the Dairy Bar too is
Yeah.
that they have food.
Yeah.
That's also like dairy adjacent food.
Yeah, you can get grilled cheeses there. You can get everything at the Dairy Bar.
Yeah.
But really, you're going for the ice cream.
Oh, yeah.
And if you're adventurous enough, you'll try the milkshake of the year because they change the flavor every year.
Hey, there we go. All right.
Kind of a good one.
So, okay, we're on to number 3. The third best thing to do with kids around central Indiana. We'll say around all of Indiana.
Okay, it's really hot, so let's bring them. Where do you go? Because as a parent, you wake up and you're like, it's 100 heat index. Like, I can't take them out because we're all going to be struggling after that. So we're going inside. I think Pinheads has it all. They've got bowling, they've got arcades, they've got volleyball at the Fisher's location. The food there is fantastic for adults and for children. And most importantly for Pinheads, kids bowl for free Monday to Thursday from 10 a.m. to 4.
Oh, that's like a little hack.
Hello.
That's a little cheat code.
Especially if you have younger kids and you're like, from 10 a.m. to 4, what am I going to do with them to get their energy out? And they push that 5-pound bowling ball, and it is like the hardest thing they've done in days.
Oh, that's a really good one.
I know it is. I wish I knew when my kids were younger that kids could bowl for free at Pinheads.
You know what's in the Godfather budget is free bowling.
Yeah,
That is in the Godfather budget.
Maybe
on.
not all the food and the arcade that will absolutely destroy your wallet, but definitely the bowling for free.
Oh yeah, that's a good move. Okay, number 2 thing to do with kids around Indiana.
I'm also staying inside because it's so stinking hot, but I'm loving lately taking all of the boys to Flicks. Like, Flicks is like the perfect balance. We went and saw F1, which, whoa,
Good
that
movie?
was good. You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen it. Is this the Brad Pitt one?
Yes, and I got all hesitant thinking, can Brad Pitt really pull off and be like Lewis Hamilton? Like, am I supposed to think they're on the same level of superhero, incredible, driver of this, race car? He does it.
Okay.
Brad Pitt does it.
All right.
Took
Well,
the
he
kids
was
to
really good
F1.
in Ford versus Ferrari.
Yes.
That was a solid movie.
I did like that movie too.
So is it like in the same vein? Better?
No, he's better.
Oh.
Because his character is not supposed to be that athletic. Like, he's the older driver that comes back to solve the problem.
All right.
So if you take the kids to Flicks, you get to see a movie and they have great beer. And they have great food. Their French fries are
That's
next
also
level.
in line with what The Godfather likes to do.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So you just need to take them to Disney like Pixar movie.
Hey, there we go. Win-win. Grab a beer. I'm good to go.
Right.
All right. We've
Number
come
one.
to it. The number one activity in Indiana to do with children.
I think it's Conner Prairie.
Oh.
I love Conner Prairie because you can go as a mom and explore how you want to go. There's a water area, there's a playground. Of course, there's the historic part where people are dressed up. They have actors and actresses that want to talk you through history. There's animals. And then, of course, there's all the festivals. So we're coming up on the fall. They're going to have Jupiter Flights, Hot Air Balloon Festival. It's one of the biggest hot air balloon festivals in the country.
Okay.
It's at Conner Prairie. Tracks people from all over the place. And then Headless Horseman.
I've heard about this one.
You gotta go. The whole historic folklore of Ichabod Crane, and it's just like it's for real. The
Is
children,
it like spooky?
oh my God, they cry. So we're at that point where like they couldn't do it, and then they could do it, but then they started doing it, and like 2 out of the 4 of the boys would scream bloody murder and cry. And so I don't know who's gonna want to go this year, but we're going.
Yes.
And the Headless Horseman seriously is like throwing the sword all around trying to cut off their head.
No way.
Now, if you go when it's brighter, they don't do it because it's the younger kids. But man, you go at like 8 or 9 o'clock, their goal is to spook you.
Okay.
It's
I'm in
fun.
on that.
It's fun.
All right. Those are 5 really solid ideas.
They're Becker Boys approved.
Becker Boys approved Godfather outings. Let's go.
There
That's
you go.
what it is. It's Godfather outings. I love it. We thanks for stopping by, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks for all you do.
All right, we've come to a super fun segment in the show. We're talking with Adam Lark from Lark Ranch. They have been going viral all over the state of Indiana. You have seen their corn maze. It was a tribute to the late Jim Irsay. It was incredible. An awesome, like just awe-inspiring piece of artwork. I'm really excited to dive into not only how they actually constructed this corn maze, but also how this partnership came to be, how you end up working with the Colts, how you make such an incredible tribute that went viral, not just in Indiana, across the country, across the globe, and just like the tradition of this family business that started down in Ladoga, that spread to Greenfield, down to Lanesville. Lark Ranch is doing incredible things across the state of Indiana. Adam, welcome to Get In.
Hi, Nate. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Dude, I'm really, really pumped to have you here. Super excited. Let's just start with, like the elephant, the massive elephant in the room. How do you even construct corn maze art? How do you build? Is there a GPS unit, or is this like free-handed?
There's 2 different ways that it's been done in the past. So what's really interesting is one guy, they cross-plant the corn. So whenever they do that, it looks like a grid, actually. If you've ever played those old games where you would draw the lines to you connect the lines to draw a picture per se. So one way that they'll do that is they do that on a massive scale so whenever the corn's, 6 inches tall or, whatever, they'll go and they'll actually spray and kill it out, and they'll go dot by dot. So they'll say, okay, it's 140.
Oh, no way.
200, yeah, and you're there counting every single piece to get, and that's the traditional mazes you see, right? Where
that would have been in the spring. I was gonna say, there's no way you would have known that, because that would have been, you had to do that. And when did you guys plant this field?
So this field would have been planted early June. The way that this is done, and this is the reason why this one is kind of so precise and looks so wild, is it's overlaid on GPS, and then it's actually cut out with the tracked excavator, skid steer tractors. He has them out in the field and he cuts it out. It's GPS overlaid so he can see where he's at, but he still has to control to get it that precise.
Who's the artist behind it? Who's running the controls?
I didn't cut it out. So there's a maze company that comes out and does this. It's called Precision Mazes. And that's Rob out of Missouri.
Wow. Okay, so Precision Mazes out of Missouri comes out, but let's talk about this. Where did this idea come from? Did you guys present this to the Colts? Did the Colts present it to you? Did you just do this and say, I hope you guys like it?
The Colts originally approached us back in January or February. There was a couple different farms they'd reached out to about presenting the possibility of doing a Colts corn maze fall festival kind of thing, right? They had been hosting, it was called For the Boo. They'd hosted at Lucas Oil every year, and it was kind of a Halloween get together at Lucas Oil for kids with candy and all that kind of stuff. they were looking for an outside location, and they wanted to do a farm in conjunction with that, a corn maze. So they reached out to a few different farms. We were working on the design and kind of going through the processes. What was interesting is so this happens, and our farm in Lagodi, and this is, a month or two later, right in mid-March, is hit by a bad tornado this year. It came through, it tore up several of our buildings, several of our barns, and it's been a process all year to clean it up. This is before we worked with the Colts, before we'd done anything. I'd get a box in the mail and a handwritten letter from, the people that I had talked to just on a couple video calls, and before we even got going, wishing us well, sending their sending their sympathies, I guess, and like these little, helmets and stickers and stuff. I mean, it was just a really cool, very thoughtful gesture.
Who from the Colts org did you talk to?
So I'm my main contact now is Anna Firstow, and before that it was Nicole Elgin. And then since then we've had it's like kind of their marketing and events team has kind of been the ones that.
That's so thoughtful of them. You're kind of like working through, maybe we'll figure something out down the road. And for them to send a thoughtful gift to you all during like a time of, that's just Indiana, baby. Come on.
It was awesome. I mean, so that really spoke to me. I was like, man, these people are you already got to like the Colts being from Indiana. And then that was really just awesome. So long story short, since that time, we're working through our design, and then Mr. Irsay passes away. I knew that they might want to pivot into something. So I said, I think this would be a great opportunity to do a memorial maze, or, make this like kind of, something bigger, really, just highlight the great things he's done for, Indiana and the Indianapolis community. And, he can look down from heaven and see himself. And, they'd like that idea. They came up with, they had the For the Boss with the cowboy hat and stuff like that, which for us with the ranch and the farm and I thought it just worked perfectly, and it turned out really well.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So how long did it take to construct the For the Boss corn maze?
He started cutting right about 7:30 in the morning, and he cut till about 8 o'clock at night. So right at 12 hours of constant cutting it.
Oh my gosh. And so he's overlaid with GPS, figuring out and are you out there watching him? Cause I feel like it's hard to tell. Do you have a drone or something up in the sky, watching it, or how do you know?
So what we did is we had a drone going the whole time as well. So we could do the stop laps of the cutting and stuff. So the whole thing got recorded, and we have some more videos and pictures and stuff we'll share in the future. But that way you could really kind of see it just almost get drawn out, essentially. You could track along with the progress too.
When the Colts organization saw this come to life, what was the feedback that you got from them?
They loved it. They were extremely happy. A few of their representatives came out during the maze cutting process, and that would have been a few of their first time with boots on the ground on Lark Ranch. They come out there, and they see it all getting cut, and we put a Colts flag on the machine while they're cutting it out. And it was funny because they'd never been to the farm before, so they're seeing they're like, wow, this place is really nice. They're seeing we have trains that go around and all the barns, and we have a lot of landscaping, and I mean, it's just in the pumpkin patch and everything. So it was really neat for them to see the farm. And then also when they were seeing the maze get cut out, and they had a big TV screen, and we had a big TV screen set up overlaying the drone footage, so they could, see it all in full screen in real time. One of the Irsay owners now, she had posted on her Instagram story, replaying it. And I've seen helicopters and airplanes, private planes flying over all the time. So it's been really cool.
Yeah, who would have known you guys had to put in an air traffic control tower out on the ranch just to make sure we had to direct some traffic through there, as people come and check out this incredible tribute to the late Jim Irsay. That's just Indiana, right? The Irsay family has made such an impact in Indiana. Through philanthropy, through kicking the stigma, through all of these different organizations and initiatives they've pushed forward. And for you guys to team up with them and somehow come together to create the most iconic Indiana piece of art, right? It's a corn maze that's a tribute to the late owner of the Colts. It does not get more Indiana than that. Unless somehow high school basketball was involved. Incredible. Talk to us about Lark Ranch. This is a family-owned farm that started down in Lagodi and has since spread down to Lanesville, and has spread up here to the Donut County Greenfield on the east side of Indianapolis. What's going on with the business, and what can we expect going into obviously the fall season when corn mazes and pumpkin patches galore.
Lark Ranch, we titled it as the ultimate fall experience. I know you're a big Indiana guy, and you talk about the maze being, Indiana. We really, we're as Indiana as it gets, and we also wanted to, show families and people like a cool time. So it started, really small. My dad, he was an attorney, and he had always, grown up around farming, but it wasn't what, my grandparents did for a living. It was just they had some farm ground, and they had tractors, and he liked to play around, and he would farm and this and that. Whenever he made some money as an attorney, he was able to buy a farm, and he called it a ranch because he had longhorn cattle, and he was just kind of playing around. He had cattle, he had buffalo, he was farming, and growing pumpkins and cotton, and he wasn't really trying to make a living with it. I think he was just playing around, right? He'd buy tractors and see how it worked. And so he started planting pumpkins, and the local schools, they knew that we had that, and the cattle, and he had buffalo at that time too. We don't have buffalo anymore. I'd like to get some again. They're just hard to keep in. And schools reached out and wanted to do a couple field trips. So that's kind of how it started. And then he'd seen a corn maze somewhere, and this was back in like 2001, 2002. And so he put a corn maze in, he opened up to the public. And I mean, it was small. So I remember whenever I was a real little kid, we'd have a busy day out there, and there'd be like 25 people or 40 people maybe. I remember he'd be scrambling like, oh my God, you got to run into town and get a 12-pack of Cokes or a case of water. Like, we're out. I don't know what to do.
I love that.
It was very, organic growth, and it's been, it's really awesome to see now that, like, the Colts thing, and we're getting some publicity on, what we're doing. 'Cause, I mean, this really has been a 20 plus year project. We've been doing this a long time, and it's just that, that steady compounding growth. You grow 10% every year, and you do it for, 25 years, it can grow into something.
Amen. And well, now this second generation has gotten into the business, right? Like you and your brothers, correct?
Yes. And so that was kind of like the next transition point. So he had grown it, and then in 2008, my grandparents, who lived on the east side of Indianapolis, right in Greenfield area, they were fortunate enough to be able to buy a piece of ground right outside of town. They bought 70 acres up there, and they'd kind of seen the corn maze idea, and it wasn't a business thing for them. Like, so neither one of the pumpkin patches really started as a business. So they were very involved in, their church and stuff like that. So they would have church groups come out. They did small concerts, bluegrass concerts, stuff like that. It was very more community, and, they'd have their friends out, and grandma could have a couple chickens, and, grandpa could talk to everyone. He was a big talker. So, he liked it. He could show them his tractor and, talk a little bit. And since that time, then that one had grown steadily, and, we tried to add stuff. It was in 2016, my dad in Ladoga, another competitive pumpkin patch, since went out, had opened up very close to our farm in Ladoga, really essentially taken a lot of our look, same buildings and same this and same that. And they'd actually went as far to come out to our pumpkin patch and take pictures and put it on their website. And my dad, he's a competitive guy, and he was like, man, I don't really like this. So he said, we're either gonna go out of business, or we're gonna grow this thing. So he bought all this rail. We put a train in with a mile of track, and it was a project that took like 3 months that summer. We're out there working all the time. So that was like our first like major thing we added. And then since that time, we started getting like portable, like carnival rides and like small amusement rides that we'd buy from, we started buying, some from, carnivals and traveling circuses and stuff.
Heck yeah.
Then during COVID, a lot of all that stuff was shut down. So we started getting a hold of manufacturers where we were able to buy a lot of stuff, essentially just for their cost in it, because they were trying to move stuff. So we were able to really get a lot more rides and stuff during that time. We called a country fair, kind of like you would see back in the 40s or 50s, where they have the some rides and the lights, and it's kind of a farm themed kind of fair mixed in with a traditional pumpkin patch, the animals, the barns,
Yeah.
so it's fun.
That's so cool. I love that. And I love that It took a little bit of competition too to like, get your dad fired up to, hey, we're going to grow this puppy. If you're entrepreneurial at all, you're competitive. It's like, I think a lot of people don't shy away from competition. Like, yeah, sure, bring it on. Like, let's go do this thing.
It was the kick I think we all needed to really get going. Now it's my dad. He's still the big boss, oversees it. And then I have two brothers as well, Kyle and Eric. My wife, Kendall, she helps me a lot too. And she does all the social media marketing website kind of thing. And then my two brothers, they run our Lagodi farm. I run our Greenfield farm. And then my dad, he's in our Lanesville farm. It's all hands on deck.
I love it, man. So what can listeners of Get In, what can Hoosiers expect if they make a visit to any of the 3 Lark Ranch locations?
So we have, a lot of the same staples each. And we have a train with a mile of track at all of them. We have the rides, we have the fall food, the apple cider slushies, the donuts, all that kind of thing. The other big one we have for this year is we have farm animals at all of them. And this year we actually have Highland cows, the cute, fluffy ones that everyone goes crazy about. We have 2 of those at each farm. We're adding this year. In Greenfield, we're doing something a little special this year too. So we have the Colts event on September 27th. They're going to be bringing games, pop-up activities, prizes, as well as cheerleaders, Big Blue. I knew that people would want to see the maze for themselves, so I'm partnering with a helicopter company out of Indianapolis that's going to be taking off from our parking lot, and they're going to be giving rides. So if you want to take a ride, they'll take you up and you can see the maze for yourself. I think that's going to be really neat. We've never done it before.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Cause this is not only a very fun corn maze, like to do the fall activity. It's also like this moment of time and this tribute to an absolute legend in the state of Indiana. So you can get a helicopter ride and see it with your own 2 eyes. I love that. That's so cool.
We got one more thing. So we haven't announced it officially on our Facebook or anything yet, but in Greenfield, I've always wanted to do live music up there. I've done it at Lagodi a few times. We're going to kick off Lark After Dark this year. The first 3 Saturdays in October 4th, the 11th, and the 18th, we're going to be doing live music, beer, wine slushies, campfires, and train rides. We're shutting the amusement rides down because we want it to be a little more adult-oriented. It's going to be good.
Probably a good move.
The lineup is the first weekend's Wild Heart Band. They're local to Indy. The second one's Corey Smith, which I saw him playing at Clayton's Country Bar, and he was awesome. And then we have Hank Ruff from Bloomington the third weekend. So it's going to be a great lineup.
Oh my gosh, that's a really good lineup. That's a good get. Like those are 3 awesome artists here. Lark After Dark, the first 3 Saturdays in October. On the 27th is the Colts event where you have the helicopter rides. So this is like the busiest of the busy season for y'all.
It is. We're getting ready to, we hit it hard when we hit it.
Amen. Well, hey, I appreciate you making the time for us and to coming on the show and telling us how, oh my gosh, the partnership with the Colts came to be, how Lark Ranch has grown over the past 20 plus years from Lagodi up to Greenfield, down to Lanesville, how your whole family is just pouring into this to create the ultimate fall experience for Hoosiers and people beyond. Like if you're from outside, you're from across the, Illinois, Kentucky, wherever, come up. Hang out at Lark Ranch. A mile of train track at every single farm is wild. I do have to ask, if we're down in Lagodi or we're out in Greenfield or we're down in Lanesville, besides one of the farms, where else do you have to go in each of those spots? What's your single favorite recommendation in Lagodi, in Greenfield, in Lanesville?
Lagodi, it's got to be right across the river in Shoals. You got to go to Bomax. It's fantastic.
Yes. Bomax, I love that.
Lanesville has its restaurant, which is the only one, but it's a good one. They got the Hogs Tavern. It's a good spot to go in.
Hogs Tavern, come on.
And then Greenfield, probably, I'm a big Mexican food guy. Probably got to be the Don Rigo. It's hard to beat.
The depot in Greenfield. The like converted train depot, they have really good food. Like I was blown away by how good the food was there.
It's fantastic. And it's cool seeing them preserve the history like that with the old mill and the old, it's in the old elevator. It's really neat to see all that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, hey, Adam, appreciate you coming on the show. Thanks. And we'll have to make it out to maybe a Lark After Dark in October this year and come check out all the cool stuff y'all have going on. Appreciate you, man.
We know I'll get you some tickets. Appreciate you.
That's a wrap on this episode. I hope you enjoyed learning more about Oktoberfest, the 811 Foundation, Carlie, Oakley's powerful testimony through organ transplant and just going out there and making an impact on our community. Hope you also enjoyed our time with Nicole Pence talking through the best activities to do with your family, with your kids around Indiana. And I mean, how could you not love? The Colts are 2-0. We're excited for this weekend. And Lark Ranch, their growth has been incredible. We're super honored to hear about their experience and how partnering with the Colts came to be. Thank you for listening. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.